I had gone to hospital some time ago to visit one of the members of the church where I was serving as interim pastor. She was facing rather serious surgery, and so I asked her, "Who's your doctor?" And she looked at me, smiled, and said, "He's the best doctor there is. It's Dr. Jesus." I have to admit that I found her comment both surprising and perhaps even a little flippant, given what she was facing. I suddenly had an image of Jesus in a surgical suite, wearing surgical scrubs, mask, and gloves, screaming "Hemostat" at a nurse. But when I thought about it, I think I understood what she was expressing. She was trying to express her faith that God is forever on the side of health and wholeness, and because Jesus was God incarnate, so was he. I think she was also expressing her belief that there's more to health and wholeness than just taking things out, surgery, and putting things in, drugs. That finally, health and wholeness are God's gifts. And like all gifts, they will not be forced upon us without our knowledge or consent. We must be willing to receive them. That is, I think, what Jesus' strange question to the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda in John 5 was all about. In the story, the man had been lying there paralyzed for 38 years, waiting for the troubling of the waters in the belief, according to the legend, that the first one in would be healed. But being paralyzed, he was at a distinct disadvantage, able-bodied persons beating him into the water. Jesus comes by the pool, sees him lying there, and asks on the surface a rather insensitive, perhaps even cruel question. "Do you wish to be made whole?" The word whole in the Greek is our word hygiene. It's a health term. Seems a strange question to ask a paralyzed man, especially one who'd been lying by the pool for 38 years hoping for healing. But it's an appropriate question in that Jesus recognized that we humans cannot be passive when it comes to our own healing and wholeness. We must participate ourselves if we're to be made healthy and whole. Now, that's not been a perspective of much Western medicine. Here in the West, physicians have tended to be the keepers of the mystery of health, and patients are passive recipients. Physicians here in the West tend to focus on the disease rather than people, diagnosis rather than health. But the traditions about health from which Jesus came were more congenial with the Eastern approach, where human beings are regarded as active participants in their own health and wellness. Happily, there are signs that things are changing. Integrative medicine, once called alternative medicine, hear the pejorative nuance of that adjective, is quickly becoming mainstream thanks to the work of physicians like Deepak Chopra and Andrew Weil. Larry Dalsey, former chief of staff at Medical City Hospital in Dallas, has been even more pointed with his best-selling book, Healing Words: The Power of Prayer in the Practice of Medicine. Chopra in particular provides a strong apologetic for a more integrative and less atomistic approach to medicine. He makes the compelling argument that even Western medicine recognizes the mind-body connection when it comes to negative consequences. The destructive consequences of stress and depression are well documented, but when it comes to the positive implications of the mind-body connection, Western medicine is more dismissive. You can't just think yourself well. Well, why not? You can think yourself sick, can't you? Why should it work only one way? Chopra and others have pointed out that the complex body chemistry involving tens of millions of seemingly independent activities are all carefully and meticulously coordinated every time we do something as simple as throwing a ball. But we don't actively coordinate all of those millions of independent activities. Rather, our intention to throw the ball marshals them and sets them to the task, which is a way of saying that intention is a powerful resource when it comes to getting our bodies to do what we want them to do, a resource until now often overlooked by Western medicine. But Jesus, more oriental than occidental, understood the power of intention, and so he asked the man, "Do you wish to be made whole?" "I've got the best doctor of all," she said, "Dr. Jesus." Well, now that I think about it, I believe she may just be correct. Till next time, take care. God bless.